Just one more game. That is the design philosophy Kevin Franklin of 343 Industries stated during the DICE Summit presentation last September. What is DICE, you might be asking? DICE is an acronym for Design, Innovate, Communicate, and Entertain. It's a multi-day gathering of video game executives and they present their products to the community. Kevin Franklin went on stage to talk about Halo 5. He mainly touched on user research data that 343 is used to tailor Halo 5 to the Halo player base. So with this commentary, I want to touch on a few topics that Kevin Franklin brought up in his presentation. If you want to watch the whole video of Kevin Franklin's presentation, I will leave the link in the description if you want to check that out. So to give some backstory to the Halo community, Kevin first shows a online player time of Halo 2 in a pie chart. I do have an issues with how he represented his data, and I'll get into that later in this commentary. But the graph he presents shows that 32% of online game time was spent in arranged games. Arranged games are essentially custom matches. That is all the time spent doing social games like zombies, your own personal team slayer, whatever game mode you want to play, including competitive games arranged by other players. Then all that time is just thrown in together as arranged games. Team Slayer also received a big chunk of the online play time at 20%, with various other game types in this graph filling out about 10 to 5% of the rest of the sections of this pie chart. He does take note that Big Team Battle was only 4% of the online play time of Halo 2. With these stats though, you have to take into account that Halo 2 was the first Halo to have online play for the consoles. So many players who enjoyed Halo CE wanted the same experience, system linking essentially, with Halo 2, which can explain why arranged games were so popular back in Halo 2. The general public on console didn't fully understand how to experience Halo 2 online. Many people just wanted to copy and paste their experience from Combat Evolved onto Halo 2 because that's how they knew to experience Halo and that's what they like. After showing the Halo 2 statistics, Kevin does go off and saying how Halo 2 brought up these different communities within this game, talking about how there's a social community, there's a campaign community, there's an esports community, there's a forging community. All these different types of people experiencing Halo for how they like to play the game. Kevin then shows the user research of Halo 4 in a bar graph. And this is where I have an issue of how he represented his information, comparing Halo 2's player user research in a pie chart, which is more a unified shape, showing that there's a whole community, everyone's together kind of shape. We're showing the Halo 4 information in a bar graph, subliminally showing that the Halo community is fragmented, suggesting that players only want to play their specific style of Halo, be it Big Team Battle, Team Slayer, Sniper, SWAT, Griffball, you name it, whatever. Suggesting that players don't cross over to different playlists, which I certainly do all the time, and I'm sure many of you do as well. Now I gotta say, the Halo community is not fragmented, we've just been beat down by mediocre products. In essentially the past 5 years, if you include Reach, you got Halo 4, which a lot of people didn't like, and MCC, which essentially really beat down the community. Kevin even states that Halo 4 was designed for 4 versus 4/5v5, which I strongly disagree with this. When you look at the vanilla maps that Halo 4 launched with, 50% of those maps were designed for Big Team Battle. The only maps that really worked for 4v4/5v5 were Solace, Abandoned, Adrift, and Haven, which is essentially the Nuketown of Halo 4. Complex, it was more of a mid-range map. It was too big for 4v4 and a little too small for Big Team Battle, at least in my experience of Halo 4. So with this bar graph that Kevin shows of the user research of Halo 4, he shows that Big Team Battle was the most popular playlist. With that, he tries to show you that how the Halo player base has changed over the years, essentially. Comparing with Halo 4, saying that Big Team Battle is the most popular playlist, comparing it to Halo 2, where it was only 4% of the player base. Though I say the reason why Big Team Battle was so popular with Halo 4 is because the game played best with Big Team Battle. Playing 4v4/5v5, the gross imbalances of Halo 4 truly shine with the Spartan abilities and loadouts. So Team Slayer honestly just wasn't as fun, but people still wanted to play their Halo, so they moved on to Big Team Battle, and they find that with the map design of Halo 4 and the core mechanics of Halo 4, that it played best with Big Team Battle. So that could be the reason why Big Team Battle was your most popular playlist in Halo 4. Though it's also important to note that Team Slayer was right behind Big Team Battle, but there definitely was a favoring to Big TB. Though when comparing Halo 4's population, which was incredibly low, to Halo 2's population back when Halo was the top dog of console shooters, and it was brand new to online matchmaking, your information is fundamentally skewed. Though I see the point that Kevin is trying to present, that 343 has noticed that the player base for Halo 4 has shifted towards Big Team Battle. So 343 wants to tailor a Halo game to the player base. Though the Master Chief Collection has shown this shift as well, that Big Team Battle is the most popular playlist, but I go into greater detail about why I think that is in the video, which I will link at the end of this one. Later on in this presentation, Kevin does mention that many players only play Big Team Battle, or many players only play 4v4, which I'd say that's true for me for the most part. Personally, I enjoy playing the 4v4 gameplay of Halo for now. Though back in Halo 2, I was all about Big Team Battle and custom matches. Big Team Battle and 4v4 have their own aspects of Halo to offer, which neither one of them can provide on their own. 343 needs to maintain the core gameplay, shooting, and movements to allow players like me and many others to hop back and forth between different playlists to enjoy the full experience that Halo has to offer. And what I mean by maintain the core aspects of the game, the shooting and movement mechanics, is it's very hard to mess with those without giving players unfair deaths. Once you add in power-ups like overshield, damage boost, speed boost that players can't predict in Warzone, it affects the shooting mechanics and the movement mechanics by altering damage and movement, which brings in an element of random. Random is something that a player can't take into account, and when a player dies to something that they can't take into account, they feel that death was unfair, which is ultimately what makes people stop playing your game. Why do you think Halo 4 has such a low player population? The reason why is because players felt like they were dying unfairly. So in closing, do you think that the Halo community wants more Big Team Battle, Warzone style gameplay, or is it just that the players haven't been interested in the competitive side of Halo because it truly hasn't been that great since Halo 3, way back in 2007. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. I do read all the comments and I try to reply to most of them as well. And thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.